What's up, everybody? It's the Inhuman one here, and welcome to part 2 of Ebenezer and the Invisible World. I'd like to take this moment to thank our sponsor for not only sponsoring this series, but also providing me with a free key so I could feature the game on the channel. And today's stream, we're going to be focusing on pretty much exploring the rest of the London Observatory in search of Caspar Malthus's secret journal. Now, this journal is supposed to give us some insight onto, as to why he's had the change of heart and become such a Scrooge, if you will. But anyway, as Ebenezer Scrooge, we're going to go ahead and explore the rest of the observatory, solve some puzzles, fight some new enemies along the way, and see where our journey takes us next, because I can only assure you that it's not the direction you're going to think, especially if you're familiar with the novel. Alright, so let's go ahead and go. This area is really nicely done. I like how beautiful it is, actually. It's just like, the colors and all that just really shocked me. I thought that, a Christmas type game would be just kind of plain and white and kind of almost like an asylum room, but it is nothing like that at all. It is totally colorful. I mean, we've got all kinds of different areas that we are exploring, and we haven't even scratched the surface of the depths that we're going to go, no pun intended, in the near future. So, we're going to go ahead and explore everything we can along the way, and see if we can find all the secrets too. My goal is to try and do as close as a 100% completion as possible. Here we have Emmy's Black Belt. This increases Ebenezer's run speed, so again, these are heirlooms you can equip. Not bad to have for now, I mean, just for fun, until we actually have a handful that we can pick from and pick and choose kind of the build we want to have, if you will. But having the coins float to you is just so nice, because you just start racking up the money, and it's nice to be able to do that and not have to go and find every single coin from the enemies that drop. It also gives you some materials as well, so the magnetism or that magnetic effect isn't limited to just coins. These lizards are hard to get. Alright, now we've got some choices to make here. We can go to the right or we can continue along this way. I think we're going to go this way and see how far up we can go. Get some treasures. Have us a good old time. Alright, boom. Oh no, wrong. There you go. And you, sir, are annoying. Alright, so now we've gone full circle. I'm going to see how far up we can go. Explore those upper areas of the observatory. And I would say another thing that I do like about this game is a lot of times the areas and where you're limited to are based off of course, like traversal ability. So once you kind of max out and go as far as you can, you have to return, once you get the new ability. So it's very traditional Metroidvania in that sense. Ooh. There you go. Got the big guy. You just gotta punish them for missing you. Now this is a fun little secret right here. The Ghost of Christmas Present says, Ebenezer, I am the Ghost of Christmas Present. I've come to offer assistance. Forgive me, but have we not crossed paths before? You must have met one of my brothers. I have more than 1,800 after all. Jeez. I remember now. It's good to meet you. What assistance do you offer me? If you met one of my brothers, then you've met his wards, the children of mankind. I did indeed. Want and ignorance were their names. I was told to beware them both. My brother gave you good counsel. However, mankind has many children, some that bring doom, some that bring kindness and hope. Tonight, these three have been asked to help you in your endeavors. How can she help? This girl is courage. She will be your strength in the face of great challenges on this night. Thank you, Spirit. So pretty much, we just got a new, kind of like a passive ability, and these ghosts, once they're equipped, can do different things. So this one attacks using a bow and arrow. So you have to equip them first though. So once they're here, you just go to your equipment menu and actually just select it. And now we have Courage equipped, and she'll be kind of joining us. And she'll be able to deal damage to enemies from afar, even through walls and things like that. So it's really awesome. Alright, so we're just going to go back down the way we came. Go this way. And then of course we're going to be making a right after we go up the ladder where that crazy lizard always gets the better of me. And hopefully we'll be approaching a save room here soon. Here Eric just kind of appeared, and he says, Caspar's journal is in here in this observatory, but I do not know where. Haley Hall would know. They spent many hours together here in this grand observatory. If only we could ask for her help. Oh, but we just might be able to. Haley Hall is going to be the next movement ghost that joins the crew. She's pretty fun too. You use her ability quite a bit actually. So we're going to go ahead and save first. That way we can replenish our heals. Remember, if you die in this game, a lot of times it's pretty punishing, you know? So you do want to make sure you save whenever you have found new items or defeated bosses, things like that, arrived at a new area, because if not, there's a huge chance that if you die, it's going to go back to the last time it auto-saved, which isn't very often, so make sure that you are, of course, taking advantage of the save rooms, because if not, you're going to be quite upset whenever you die. If and when you die, it's a Metroidvania, you're certainly going to die. Alright, here we go. Let's grab some berries. Now here's a movement ability we don't have yet. Haley Hall is going to grant us the ability to go through these. So going up is now kind of blocked off, so that's great. I love in Metroidvanias whenever you're like, oh, okay, I only have one. Oh god, there's a mouse. I only have one choice to make. I have a phobia. I forgot about the mice in this game. There's only a few times we see them, and they're never worse than that, at least. Gotcha. But yeah, it does a really good job of like saying, yep, you are blocked from this path. Try another. So then it makes it easy, I think, to kind of say, okay, I know where I need to go to backtrack and things like that. Now, one thing I would like to see in this game, though, that they don't have at this time are markers. You know, I'd like to see markers that we could use and apply on the map, because if you go to the map, you can move it around, and yes, you have an excellent key. I think the key's great. It tells you exactly like what the rooms are, things like that, unexplored paths, things of that nature. I think that's great. However, sometimes you can explore a whole room like that, say that brown rectangle in the beginning, for example, but we didn't actually explore everything because there was a movement ability that was preventing us from exploring the rest of that upper area. So just by looking at the map, we wouldn't know to go there. So I think markers are important, because I could mark the map and say, hey, I need to go back here at some point. And it could just be for my own reference. It doesn't have to be something that everybody else understands. But hey, leaving a marker there means, you know what, I got to do some exploring once I get a certain ability. So markers, I think, are critical in a Metroidvania, you know, really crucial to the experience. And although the map is great, we don't see the marker system in this game. So it's an interesting choice. I would like to see him. I think you could definitely benefit from it. Never hurts. Alright, I'm getting jacked up. There's another movement ability blocking us off from here. I'm going to eat some more berries, because, good gosh, I'm getting torn up by the spiders and everything else. But yeah, you see Courage constantly fires shots, and they do quite a bit of damage, actually. So I was surprised to see how much damage they actually do. You missed me. Oh no, no, you got me. Never mind. You got me. Just kidding. Okay. Make sure you pick up all of these materials. We're going to use them for increasing our max health and max spirit gauge. There's another wall blocking us off there. Lovely. Another mouse. Oh my god. That was just right by my foot. Love that. I'm going to avoid you, little guy, because you creep me out. But here we're going to jump around, take care of this guy. We don't have our spirit gauge maxed out yet, so we can't use our ability. Now we do. Take him out quickly. Those heads are quite annoying. Come on. It's good to bait them. That we don't get stuck, you know, mid-jump or right when you're in a narrow platform or something like that. It's the worst. Alright, another movement ability is blocking that. We're going to get that. That's, again, Haley Hall's ability, so we're going to be encountering her really soon. But first, Lewis says, no, 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 what am I missing? None of this is right. You almost have it, Lewis. Don't give up. You're only missing one piece of the equation. I so wish that you could hear me. Ebenezer Scrooge may just have the ability to do that. Phantom, why are you looking over this man's shoulder? I want so very much to help this researcher. I wrote a book on planetary motions that contains the information he needs, but I am chained to the mortal world, always knowing what these men and women need to solve the mysteries of the universe, but unable to help them. Is there anything I can do? Yes, thank you for offering, sir. Can you find the book Lewis is searching for? It's somewhere here in the observatory. If you find it, I can bring it to him. I'm sure he will see the solution once he has the book in his hands. Do you know where I might find? Well, how hard can it be finding one book in a sea of tens of thousands? Yeah, she just left. It's like, girl, you did not help at all. Can you find a book that in this massive library where every book is kind of strewn about? So again, great thing you can do is always keep track of your side quest. She's tied to the astronomer side quest. We still have the watchmaker and the falconer as well. So once we get enough money, we'll be able to solve this one. Watchmaker's quest can't be done until the very end, and then the astronomer's quest is what we're working on right now, alongside the main quest, which of course, finding Haley Hall is key to this. So once we actually help her on her pending matter, she'll join our crew, and then we can use her abilities. Haley Hall was one of the most esteemed researchers here in the London Observatory. She wrote the seminal book on space and time. It is here somewhere. I must find it. You know what, buddy? Let me find it for you. Alright, we got this spider guy. Thing with the spiders is they do jump forward, so if they're on the floor, depending on how many hits it takes to beat them, you definitely want to use that back dash. And of course, you do have some range. You can attack through floors and stuff like that. Always use that to your advantage. There you go. Buddy. Okay. Got those crafting materials as well. We'll bring this over so we can jump up here, reach this ledge. These couriers are so funny. Sometimes if the enemies are glowing purple, when you strike them, they kind of like, I don't know, like spew out some like projectiles. You gotta be very careful with that. Alright, so here we can't reach this yet. There will be an opportunity for us to get to it in due time. Another wall that only Haley Hall can get through. Another gate or passageway. So right now the path is quite linear. We don't really have a lot of choices. But we do have another save room, so that's good. And like I said, I'd strongly encourage that you use the save rooms, because if you die, it's quite punishing. Interactions with NPCs, things you've collected, things like that, typically won't get saved. You have to have been lucky enough to trigger an auto-save. If not, you're going back to your last save. Alright, here goes. Oh gosh, okay, we're good. We got this. Break all the lights just for fun. Right. Now there's a really cool cane we're going to be getting here soon, and I just cannot wait to unlock it. It's one of my favorites. I actually used it, I would say 80% of my run the first time I played through this game, and it was a lot of fun. Quite fun to use. Always be careful, like when you jump on a balloon, if it starts moving, you gotta follow the path. If not, you are gonna probably fall in a pit of spikes. Like so. Oh, I was just joking, and I literally fell in. That's what I get for being a clown. Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah, I probably could have made that, actually. Nope, I can't make that. That was funny. The timing was so bad on that. I was like, yep. I literally was joking, and I fell a second after. Gotta love it. We're gonna wait, because I want to take this enemy out first. It makes the traversal, or now the platforming, pretty hard. If you have enemies just hopping around, you know. There you go. Took so much unnecessary damage from the spikes. It happens. Lovely. I'm gonna go ahead and use my turkey. Lovely. Come here, I'm really mad. You're gonna have to die now. Oh, he's gonna go that way, it's fine. We found the book at least. But I'm still angry. Theories on the Orbit of Celestial Bodies by Professor Haley Hall. This is it. This is it, Spirit. Reveal yourself, please. I have found the book you seek. Thank you for finding this. I believe Lewis will be a great scientist one day, and I'm glad to help him. I shall make sure he finds this book. Hello, Haley. It has been many years. Eric, I cannot believe my eyes. You fought in the war and never returned. I am here in aid of our fellow friend Caspar Malthus. After years of manipulation by his father, his mind has been poisoned to have disdain for the working class. Caspar? Oh dear Caspar, how is this possible? As children, Caspar and I thought of nothing more than seeing the world and bringing joy and kindness to others, those without means especially. Caspar is not how you left him. He has brought turmoil to London. Now that I find myself in these immortal chains, I have obligated myself to aspire to good. And it is good to help Caspar and the working people of London. We are here in search of Caspar's journal, the one he would write in so regularly when he came to this place. I remember Caspar's journal well. He always carried it with him. I have seen it recently, mixed in with some of the academic texts. The collection here is so vast that one of the staff must have carelessly included it with the academic text. Well, great. So you know where we can find it? Excellent. Caspar's journal is upstairs, above the planetarium. I can take you there. It is a dark night, Haley. Dangers about. Are you sure you want to come with us? We must be careful. The unrepentant are everywhere tonight. You have no need to worry. Like all astronomers, I love the stars too fondly to be fearful of the night. Cool. So now, we have Haley Hall. It says Rose Reed, but actually it's Haley Hall. Rose Reed is a different NPC that we can use her abilities, later. But anyways, now if we just use the right trigger, we can go right through the walls, right through these gates that have been blocking us. And as you know, there's quite a few on the way back. Oh, actually, lovely. Quite lovely indeed. I'm taking so much just fun, unnecessary damage here. The problem is I don't have my spirit gauge filled, so it makes it a little tough to fight a ghost that's in a strange angle. There you go. That guy was annoying. That's why it's important to constantly, be striking with your cane when you can. If we go this way, we're actually going to meet a little friend. A potential friend, I should say. And this, of course, is the harpoon guy. He's pretty cool, actually. A very strong ability. Angus Beauchard, you there. Rich-looking mortal. Have you any familiarity with scales? Scales? Such as to weigh money? I should say I do. As do I, but one might say my scales are a little unbalanced. See, I am a harpoonist and fisherman by trade. That does not seem like a profession that lends itself to imbalance. It is an honorable profession, and I was once an honorable man, but as financial demands on me grew, I made extra money running a scheme with the help of some local fishmongers. I helped them fix their scales and con local fishermen out of their rightful payment. Terrible. So you became a cheat? That would explain your chains. Most certainly yes, but over the long years chained to the mortal world, I have seen the error of my ways. My former partners, however, what about them? They felt no remorse for their actions and have long since become unrepentant spirits. They are still drawn to the local fish market, feeling an instinctual pull to that place, something that makes them want to continue tormenting the honest fishermen. What fools! Even knowing their fate and the consequence of their decision, they continue with this rotten behavior. Perhaps I can help them? I fear that with the surge of unrepentant spirits this evening, their actions could be emboldened and cause irreparable harm to the fishermen. Please see if you can protect them. So if we do actually aid him, we'll be able to get him, and he'll be added as a kind of an ally, if you will. So now we have Kenji's ring. This is super important. It gives us the ability to actually go underwater. So we do want to equip this heirloom for sure. And remember that this area here can be breakable. There's going to be a ghost that we get later on that allows us to break through walls, but right now we don't have such abilities. We can only go through gates and things like that. But we do have the ability to breathe underwater now, which is going to be huge. This is going to let us get what in my opinion, is my favorite weapon in the game. There's quite a few different canes that you can use, but my favorite is certainly the one we're about to get right now. So if you're big on collecting or if you're big on just kind of using the primary weapons, I'd say, okay, that's fine. However, this is an excellent one because it gives you much more spirit gain per strike, and it's got a little bit more range too. So it's just an excellent weapon to have. There you go. Did I get you? How are the mice underwater? Explain that. Look at this. It's called the Snakehead. Increased attack range and a small boost to spirit earned when striking foes. And now, of course, with these spirit weapons, which we have 8 in total, you can change from your standard cane or this one right here. And I'm telling you, this cane is amazing. I absolutely love it. I use it all the time. This is one of those aquatic mice. See, that's why I don't like mice. You can find them everywhere. They're disgusting creatures indeed. Alright, here we go. But yeah, with Kenji's ring, it's very situational, so you don't have to have it equipped all the time. But right now, we don't have more than, 3 or 4 heirlooms, so we don't really have the option of choosing and picking and choosing and kind of based on our build. But the Kenji's ring, if you ever see a body of water, definitely equip it so you can jump down in there and see what secrets it holds. It's always good stuff, every time. I'm telling you, this cane's awesome. It's got a nice green effect to it as well. I love it. This is a good cane. I feel like it does more damage too, but it didn't say anything about the damage increase, but the damage numbers to me seem to be just a bit higher. And I like that. Use Haley Hall's ability. Don't forget to grab those crafting materials. They're going to be very important for later. And that increased range is just huge. You're going to love that. Alright, so before we go that way, let's go here. We'll go up in a minute. Let's give him his book first. Hello again, Ebenezer. Oh, that's right. She gave it to him. He's reading it right now, which is just fantabulous. So let's actually go this way. Nice. Perfect. Pull this over. And remember, there was a few areas that we could use our newly gained ability with Haley Hall. She can go through walls and stuff, so it's going to be huge. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and save first before we do all that. Oh, I missed. Gotcha, little guy. We'll go to the save room, and then we'll go ahead and explore to the best of our ability the rest of the London Observatory. There you go. We'll grab this crafting material right here. Crystal glass. A lot of that stuff's pretty rare too, so. Alright, so we're going to be going to the right and then we'll be working our way up. Yeah, always tries to chew on you. Alright, so here we go. We're still looking for the journal, by the way. So here we have a nice little puzzle. The book shows the planets in this order. Okay, I have to remember. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. So there's going to be a series of planets that we have to activate, and that'll actually trigger this new passageway to open up. So Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Mercury, Venus, Earth. That's Mercury. This would be Venus. That would be Earth. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, right here. And then Jupiter, Saturn. If you're not too familiar with the planets, and those alchemical symbols, just do what I did. And that opens up the elevator, which is going to free up a new area for us. But let's continue exploring before we kind of just leave. Definitely want to explore everything we can along the way. But yeah, that is one of the earlier puzzles. It's kind of neat. I enjoyed it. They didn't do or use too many more puzzles like that, but I definitely enjoyed that. I thought that was fun. Let's see. So this is obviously just a way back, kind of linking back the areas. This is another traversal ability that we're not going to have just yet available in our repertoire, but in time, we will. The Courage is just shooting arrows at everybody right now. Love that. She's a feisty one. Alright, we're going to go here. And we'll continue exploring and see what we can find along the way. So that's a secret passageway right there, you can tell. It's kind of shaded differently. That's always a good indicator. Take out this courier and then maybe, yep, the tomato lady. There you go. Grab this crafting material right over here. Open up this shortcut. Now these ladies are crazy. Do not get greedy with them. Just 1 or 2 strikes max. And then get out of their way, because they can deal an incredible amount of damage. This is the second type of cane that we get. It's called a Spirit Whip. So it's really good for long range. And I'll show you the movement about and how different it is. Like, it doesn't quite have combos like the other one, right? But it's got some massive range to it. So that's how you get this second cane. I will, of course, stick with the Snakehead cane because its benefit to increasing the spirit gauge received. And also, I feel like it does a decent amount of damage, and it's got some really good range, you know, so it's a very balanced weapon, I would say. Oh, lovely. Lovely. Alright, so we had already gone that way to the left. We're going to go down first. Of course, I say the game does pretty good in letting you know where you can and can't go. Once, you know, you're going to be blocked off from certain pathways at certain points. So you can say, okay, I'm forced to go this way. And it helps you from getting lost. But there's the book that kind of gave us the clues. We're going to drop down here. Let's see, this is Necropolis, so we can't actually go here yet. So that's lovely. That's a good sign. So now it means we need to go up. So we're going to go up and around. That way we can kind of continue on. Hopefully find his journal. The London Observatory is important for a number of reasons, and a lot of those have to do with the fact that it holds a lot of secrets. More than what we're even seeing here, so it's pretty neat. We will find more and more secrets. So I don't remember seeing a pathway up. Like above us or directly above. Let's see. Because it would be over here. Yeah. Certainly don't see that. So we're going to go down this way then. And we'll go up and around. Take him out as well. Eric's ability is fantastic. Remember, there was a secret here, actually. If you recall. And this is where we're going to come across a lot of those gates that Haley Hall can bust through. We're going to go grab that material as well. This is rare stuff. A lot of those materials are excellent for upgrading. And we'll be doing that when we return to the, the London area. There's a few times you'll go back through there, because you're traversing to brand new areas, so every time you do, it's always good to upgrade your health and spirit gauge when you can, of course. That's what I get for being impatient. It's on like a 2 count. This one right here. 2. Alright, now it was easy. I just wasn't patient enough. Take him out. These guys are so annoying. You go away. You go away. Alright. So last time we were forced to go this way, remember? We're going to go this way now. Every time you see an enemy with like this kind of like barrier, you cannot go through it, okay? So I don't know how to defeat them. They're pretty much invincible as far as I'm concerned, so just go around. Pudding is incredible. It gives you like pretty much full health. Absolutely love it. We'll eat some. Ooh, I'm all out of the turkeys. That's no good. We'll eat some cold boiled food then. Remember, stocking up on food isn't a bad thing to do, especially a little bit later on in the game. Whenever there's huge stretches in between save points, you're certainly gonna wanna, rack up your food. Because if not, you don't stock up on it. you know, as you can see, the enemies deal quite a bit of damage when they hit you. It's pretty unforgiving, so even when you have tons of health, after a number of upgrades, you're still going to be, you know, in situations where you get jacked up. I think that's the scientific term for it. Getting jacked up. Alright, so here we go, kind of just backtracking, going through, getting some of the secrets that we missed on the way when we first obtained, well, prior to obtaining Haley Hall's ability, so, and that is not a bad thing. Alright. You're not annoying at all. Who gave you the opera man job? Alright, we're gonna. Oh, hold on there, buddy. I saw some mugwort. Mugwort is like a. Oh no, it went away. No, it didn't. Haha, this right here. That's rosemary. Never mind. Guess I don't know my herbs. But there's mugwort. It looks pretty similar. But those are, of course, important for being able to upgrade your max bars that I keep referring to. That's going to be huge later on. Because you just want to be able to, you know, not only take more hits, but you want to be able to deal more damage and use ghosts more often if possible, you know? Alright, so we're doing good here. We're kind of going back. Now that they've got new enemies they've added to the mix as well. But all right at this point, we've pretty much covered that area. And now we can go through. This is kind of like going full circle. So now what we want to do is we want to go back to pretty much the entrance area and then go to this top part of the observatory. So essentially we've gone through to collect a lot of those secrets. And let's see, what would be the quickest way? I guess that is the quickest way. Good thing we get a little bit more distance with that too. Really nice. So if you can't make a jump, or if you kind of didn't time it right, that kind of thing, you can easily just go back and correct it. Oh gosh, there you go. I do want to say it's back here, is it not? There you go. You, sir. Oh, I thought that was a platform. That's no fun. Ooh, I can't get up there. That is no fun at all. So that means we have to kind of go through, back up and around. That's unfortunate. Kind of punished you for going back and exploring a little early, but that's okay. Not a big deal. I'm glad we got a lot of those things because we'll be able to upgrade more than once, which is fantastic. And this just allows us to kind of farm up some more goodies along the way too. So again, not a huge setback at all. Just gonna bypass that altogether. And the little lizard man. Go through all those platforming sequences much more easy. Now you don't have to be nearly as precise. That's what I like about it. Alright, so let's go back up and then we'll return from whence we came. Okay. That's close. Ooh. You got me. Good thing is we're just a few rooms away from actually going to that save area, so not bad at all. And then from there we'll just go back to the beginning and go to that first cell of the observatory pretty much. And to the right of it, there's this upper area that we hadn't explored yet, and that's where we're going to try to go next pretty much. Yeah, you're dead. Thank you, thank you. Racking up all those coins too. We have 1,300 right now, which is plenty more than what's necessary to buy the dress for that girl. So we'll be doing that so we can get another ghost to join our crew. And man, she is so powerful. Her abilities were just incredible for just like maximizing DPS. They're just so good. So we'll definitely be using her abilities. Want to add her to the crew for sure. Alright. Pick up that material, of course. Now let's see. Where do we need to go? We'll go here, I guess, and then make our way back to the left. In that room where the puzzle was. We gotta take the elevator, though. Let's do that. Alright, here goes. Perfect. Okay, so this is going to take us... This is that area that was up. Remember, I was like, hey, how do I go up? Well, the elevator allows us to go up. That's just weirdly placed, so it kind of throws you off a bit. But now, it's jogging my memory a bit. Yogging my memory. This is going to connect us back to the path to the beginning area that I was referring to. So we will explore this whenever we come out. Because there's going to be... Actually, you know, we'll do it now. We'll do it now, because there's actually a really fun item I want to show you guys. We can get back here easy now that we have Haley Hall's ability. So we're going to go right up here. Oops. 1, 2. Okay, first, like, yeah, this is great, right? Because you get some healing items or whatever. But typically you get healing items or materials from there. But here you get a compass. Now this is really cool because although it says like it points you to secret passages, it more so points you to things like hidden, you know, materials and secrets in walls and stuff. So look, it's pointing to one right now. So every time you see like a broken, you know, like a fractured piece of the wall, things like that, it's always leading you to something you can actually grab. So it's really neat. But now you don't have to really look for it because they're really hard to see in some areas because of the lighting, things like that. But look, here's another one. So you can just hit it and you end up getting a lot of times different kinds of crafting materials and things like that, so that's nice, really nice. So I had that equipped quite a bit, I would say, for the majority of my playthrough as well. So it was good. I enjoyed it. So that's just the rest of the area, just so that you know it kind of links up. If you were to fall down further, you'd go back to the entrance of the main area, but there's no need. We'll just go this way and we'll continue exploring now that we've taken the elevator. I completely forgot we unlocked that. Gotcha. Alright, we're going to go around, though, because we don't have, like, a double jump ability or anything yet. Not yet. Alright, so let's go here first, see what this leads to, and then, of course, we can push the cube so we can have a little bit more height. Okay, so this area is tough. Right now, there's not a lot you can do, and if you were to face off with these enemies, you would find that you're just completely outmatched. So this is not an area we want to explore just yet. We'll be coming back here later in the game once we're a little bit better equipped, but right now you certainly don't want to do battle with those enemies. Not only are they very strong, but also once you clear the enemies out, there's nothing you can actually do because we don't have the traversal abilities to continue exploring the area. So we'll come back there and it's actually pretty fun, but we'll come back when we're ready. When we're good and ready. Alright. You know what? I hate leaving enemies. Okay, there you go. Because sometimes they give you some nice goodies anyway, so. We'll use Haley Hall's ability. Here, if we go through, we will go around, actually. Let's see. I like to bait them out if I can. That's fine. Ugh. Go away. Oh no, not you. Okay, right here. There it is. This is and when enemies attack you, they actually get damage dealt to them in return. So it's called Andre's Razor. So not a bad weapon to have. You know what I told you about Kenji's ring and all that? It's very situational. I would say you use that whenever, you know, you see any kind of body of water, but just unequip it, and then you can equip this one as well. Like I said multiple times, the heirlooms have like lore associated with them, so you can always kind of read up on who the heirloom's from, and it's kind of neat because sometimes it's people that are tied to the Ebenezer Scrooge universe. Sometimes it's just, I don't know, maybe fictional characters they've created for it. I'm not entirely sure, but it's pretty interesting to see the cast of characters. Ow. Okay. Get some more berries. We'll save because I'm getting jacked up and all I have is like some berries and maybe like, let's see, and pudding. You don't want to use the pudding. The pudding is something you want to use much later whenever you actually, you know, it's warranted. I'd hate to waste it right now because it is so expensive. But we're going to go up, continue exploring this observatory, and we're getting closer to the tallest tower. Now I will show you guys a secret that I found on my first playthrough. Let's take out these enemies first so they don't distract us. You notice this blue glowing light, right? Well, you know that that's always from the gate that Haley Hall can pass through, so there you go. Nice little secret. And of course, if you do have that heirloom equipped, it shows you that, hey, there's something on the other side here. It points out treasure chests or safes and also those like weird crevices in the walls you can bust through to find goodies. Alright, so we can go this way or we can continue up. I say we go this way and then we'll go up to figure out what else is out there. Alright. Ah, at last, Casper's journal. Quickly, read it and let us know what it says. A mere collection of mundane observations. Visits to the museum, musings on the observatory. Where are the answers we sought? Wait, this entry here. What does it say? He writes about the loss of his mother. He writes with a heavy heart, but his mood soon turns to one of anger. He accuses his mother of deceiving him for many years, claiming that the affection she had shown him was nothing but a pretense meant to hinder his prospects within the family enterprise. I cannot believe that. My parents would bring me here every weekend, and I would often see Casper and his mother Lillian together. The two shared a close and affectionate bond, and I cannot conceive of her or any mother deceiving him in the manner he suggests. Maybe her death holds some key for redeeming Casper? Death? No, Lillian did not die, at least not then. Casper told me that she had been committed to Bedlam Asylum for treatment, some sort of mental disease or hysteria. It was around that time that I stopped seeing Casper. Well, does she live or not? Casper's mother may be the key to understand his metamorphosis from an innocent boy to this wretched industrialist that he's become. Ebenezer, I do appreciate that you're still a resident of the mortal world, but please be aware that we don't receive a telegraph with tidings of every spirit's passage into the next world. That's how I thought it worked. Understood. So a detour to Bedlam Asylum then, because our path wasn't convoluted enough already. Let's add a madhouse to the mix. How delightful. You must know that the chances of finding someone coherent in that wretched place are slim at best. Sadly, I agree, but we must try. We'll face new dangers, though. Cruel experiments are carried out on the hapless patients, hidden away from public scrutiny and knowledge. Yeah, so we're literally going to the asylum as Ebenezer Scrooge, and that, in my opinion, aside from the observatory, is one of my favorite areas. So here we have a second fast travel point, which means now we can kind of connect the two, right? So if we ever go to one or the other, now we have that ability to kind of go from here, which is the London Observatory, now back to kind of like the city. I think they call it a West London. So pretty neat. I like it. So we could always do that, which we can definitely try. And we will actually be taking this train here very shortly. Or we can continue exploring and seeing how far we can get before we're locked out because of maybe a traversal ability that we don't have just yet. And there you go. We're going back. We don't have the double jump, so there's nothing more we can do. Let's see. I did see another area, though, right there, to the left. Let's see if maybe that's something we can reach. If not, then that means it's all locked out from the top area. Yeah, it is. Okay. That's all she wrote. Let's go ahead and go take the train, and then we will be coming back to the London Observatory. Near the end of the game, actually, there'll be something very important here that happens. Alright, so now we'll talk to the good old, whatever his name is, train station dude, TSD, and then we're going to go to West London. We only have one choice, so we can't really select any other areas to go to, but every time we find a train station, it unlocks that location as a new destination for us. So, alright, so remember what was here, right? So from the train station, we had a few things. We had a few NPCs around us, and most importantly, we had the, upgrades. The tomato throwing lady. Just kidding. We had the upgrade area, which was right over here. So initially when we went to the shop, we could only upgrade our health, right? Because we couldn't go further to the right. Well, Casimir is going to allow us to upgrade our health, and we're certainly going to do that. We're going to upgrade it as much as we can. Thank you, thank you. See if there's anything else we can do. So we need more rosemary and mugwort. See, they do look similar because they're green and plant-like, you know? I can't distinguish between those different types, but hey, it's my bad. So if you use Haley Hall's ability, you go through the gate, and then now, if we have certain types of materials, we can upgrade our spirit meter as well. And her name is Gawain. I seek certain natural element or materials of this earth. If you bring me what I ask, I will trade for a boost in your capacity for spirit. So she's okay. We have the Wadi sand. A lot of times it's the Wadi sand and coals, but she actually changes her inventory of what she requires as well. Ember coal. Okay, so we need more sand. And the Saturnine lead. Okay, so we need sand, and then we need mugwort and rosemary for the other guy. I shall return, Gawain. So now we're going to go through here again, and we're going to go talk to Jasper. Remember the merchant over by the ghost that I really keep talking about because their ability is amazing? It's down here somewhere. That, of course, is the fast travel station, as indicated by the bell sign. But right down here, you can see a treasure chest that we opened up way early on in the first stream. And then we're going to go this way. And we got the old piggy. Now, the important thing to do here is to get the dress, which is 500 coins. It's a big chunk of change at this point, but it is worth it. We definitely want to get it. It is, I can't, express how important or, emphasize how much that ghost's abilities are going to help in the late game. So let's go ahead and purchase some stuff here. I just really want to have as much as I need. In my playthrough, I just have you know that when I play video games, I save and hoard every single thing possible. I never buy things. Nothing. So the funny thing is, I make it a little bit harder for myself in doing that, obviously, right? So I don't encourage you to do that. And on playthroughs where I'm doing something like a walkthrough, I always want you to see like the best way to do things. So I'm just so accustomed to doing challenge runs and things like that that I naturally, impose some sort of challenge on myself to make it harder. It's how you get good, as they say. Alright, so what we're going to do is just keep going this way, avoiding all these fools along the way. And we're going to make a bit of a trek so we can solve the side quest. Because, obviously, at this point, the next thing that they want us to do is head to the Bedlam Asylum. Which is, if we would head west, which, think of it from like a cardinal direction, you'll be looking at a map. If you just go left, you're going west, right? So west, the furthest west you could possibly go will take you out of the town to the Bedlam Asylum area. We're going to head east right now, though. And we're going to try and see if we can find some things. We're going to go this way, and then we're going to go up as well, just to figure out exactly where she may be. But she's either right down here, or she's going to be up another level on the map. And although I have been primarily using Eric, which he's just a great ability to use, the lamp bearer, is also incredibly strong. So, I mean, for example, like, if you have the range down, this guy can do crazy damage and punish the enemies that kind of just, recoil or sit still after, they've struck you. That's Fezziwig letting us know we can explore stuff on our map. We're going to keep going this way. This is actually a different path. We do need to go up, but that's fine. I'll show you guys what this is anyways. Aha! Now, she's incredibly important for later as well. Her name's Lorraine. She doesn't say much, but the fact that she has a name and she's an NPC that's standing around, you know that she's tied to a side quest. So right now she doesn't have time. She's just not ready to deal with it. That's fine. I'm going to show you guys this anyways, even though we can't do anything beyond just a few steps here, but... okay. This area is really cool. Now remember that there were pretty much, there was a sign saying Necropolis, right? We picked up some rosemary, look at us. So right here, we're going to see all these mirrors. We don't have the ability to use these mirrors yet, but we will in the near future. And this is where we're going to end up finding what I would say is the entrance to Necropolis. But remember, the London Observatory also had a way to Necropolis as well. And what is Necropolis? We'll find out. We already know its name location because we saw it in the London Observatory, but you'll find out how important it is much later. So what we're going to do is, there's a level above us. We're going to go to that street level right above us. It's kind of running parallel. And on that long stretch of the map there, on the longest rectangle you can see, that's where we're going to find the lady that she's unable to afford the dress for herself. But the falconer, or I forget her actual name, it's quite a long name. but she went ahead and said, you know what, I'd like to give away some of my belongings to people in need, because all she cared about in her life were material things. She realized, hey, when you're dead, there's not much use for those things, right? So, all right, here we go. So we just gotta head up a level. Use these balloons right here. This is the first set of balloons. Those are NPCs there we helped. That's how we got Buster Bailey's, ability to bounce on the balloons, and pretty much really opened up the traversal quite a bit for us. Early game, anyways. Those guys are so annoying. You, sir, have like, oh my god, he like has predictive throwing, He always knows where I'm gonna be. He's good. Alright, here we go. We're gonna go up and to the right. And that way we can get on that second level here. Yeah, up one more level, so we're gonna bounce on these. They're relentless, I tell you. The enemies and their projectiles are just very accurate in this game. Especially the ones that throw grenades and explosives, I'm telling you. Those guys are jerks. Absolute jerks. The tomato ladies aren't so bad because you can actually slice the tomatoes with your cane. And if you attack them, they just kind of, oh gosh. That's what was hurting me. They just kind of fall apart, which is great. We're just going to go this way. Later in the game, we're going to have some more abilities that open up even more areas in this particular location, so it's pretty nice. We'll just take the bottom route right now. This should lead us to that lady, and of course we'll have to return to the Falconer. Well, I should say this. In the early part of the game, whenever you're doing the side quest, the ghosts come to you when you complete their pending matters. But in the later sections of the game, you have to go back to them. The only reason I said you have to go back to the Falconer's area is because there will be a secret later on once you open up and obtain a new traversal ability. But she'll actually come to you so you can finish her side quest. There's just more to be done in her area. So that way it's not so confusing, But yeah, most of them will come to you until late game, then you gotta go to them. Actually, it is this way if I recall. Whoa! Alright, here we go. So now we're going to be back in the streets area. We're going to be passing the Grand Exhibition, things like that, and that's a good sign that we're headed in the right direction. World's Fair. Alright, so just a few more blocks and we should see our friend here that's going to help us complete this quest. Oh, you do good. Oh gosh, you're everywhere. Okay. Jerks, man. Here you go, here she is. Lucinia, sorry, says, that's the girl over there. Go give her the dress. Excuse me, young lady. I've come upon this dress, but I have no one who would have use for it. Would you like it? Oh my, this dress is so beautiful. I've always wanted a dress like this. This is the most beautiful dress I've ever seen. I'll be happy to take it. Thank you very much. That was positively wonderful. Let's go find more dresses to give. I'm sure we can find them. I would love to help. But I have some very important matters I need to take care of tonight. Well, fine. Let me lend a hand. The quicker you get done, the more dresses I can give away. I'm telling you, her ability is incredible. Initially, it's actually a little underwhelming, but it's whenever you find out the best use for it, if we're punishing enemies up close, it's just incredible. Thanks, Ebenezer. I've always dreamed about a dress like this. Nice. She's all dolled up now. But here we go. I'll show you once we get an opportunity. As a matter of fact, if we continue on this way, if you recall, there was an item we could get, or there was a gate that was preventing us from like a chest. I'm going to show you exactly what that is. We can go ahead and grab it now that we're here. Good stuff, right? Got the cold boiled. Bunch of goodies in here. Got some ember coal, so that's going to help us with our spirit gauge maxing out. Good stuff. Good stuff. Game Challenger Wolf says it's kind of cool that Scrooge is a hero instead of the bad guy. Yeah, exactly. He's always depicted as just an evil guy, evil old grumpy man. But here he's actually really nice, and he's learned from his ways because the events of this game follow after what happened in the novel or the movies that you may be familiar with. So it's kind of cool to see him doing that. And also, just in a Metroidvania, I think that was a really interesting setting that I just would not have ever anticipated. So it's cool to see him in this setting, in my opinion. A spry old man with the ability to use ghosts, and then of course he's now helping people because he's changed. He's no longer that grumpy old man. So I like it. I agree. I can use the ability now, and I'm probably going to use it so you guys can see it, but here you have these birds that surround you, and at first it's like, oh, okay, well, that's alright, I guess. It's more defensive. No. Like, although it seems like a great defensive ability, the damage that you can deal and the number of times the birds actually proc hits when you're up close, especially with a larger enemy, it's just insane. You will be melting some bosses late game with that ability, and I used it quite a bit. Okay, so now we're going to be heading to the Bedlam Asylum. At this point, we've explored pretty much everything we can. We've gone through the London Observatory, and we've even gone so far as to do some further exploration and complete some side quests back in the city. We'll be coming back to pretty much all those locations, though, at some point in the near future. We'll be journeying to the London Observatory again at the very end, and then we'll be coming back here few times just to actually be able to explore some secret areas that we just couldn't reach. And some of those areas are just so much fun because there's a really neat encounter you have that I thought was incredible. I was like, ooh, I did not expect that. Alright, so down we go. We're going to go ahead and make our way to the Bedlam Asylum. That way we can find, I was going to say asylum there, but that's just poor taste. That area is terrible. They did some terrible things to the people there, unfortunately, and the patients are the ones that suffered the most for it. So it's a nasty area. And it's interesting that the Ebenezer Scrooge kind of universe took that direction. There's a lot of dark places we go to in this game, and the asylum, believe it or not, is not the darkest. Alright, here we go. Remember, oh, good throw. The asylum was directly to our left, so the leftermost region, and it's pretty much to the left of Ebenezer's mansion, if you recall. There's a save point to our right that I do want to tag. We've done quite a bit. We've, obviously obtained some new NPCs and allies and things like that along the way, completed some side quests, which has of course triggered autosaves, but if I were to die, I'd still suffer having to go back and redo certain things that didn't trigger autosave. So I'd rather just go ahead and save to prevent that from happening. Remember, if you go down here, there's another passageway to the cemetery, and it's important for later. Let's leave it at that. This guy's going to be important for a side quest we have in the asylum. So remember, Samuel is not only a guy that's investigating some of the things going on there, but he's definitely going to be key to completing a side quest. So just remember his location is literally on the straight path right before the save point at the city center. So from Ebenezer's mansion, you just go all the way straight to the right. Super easy. Here are the protesters. It's still early in the day, sun's setting, so eventually as the day progresses they might pick up their things and go. Scrooge is one of the game challenger Wolf says Scrooge is one of the coolest characters to fight in adventure game. The second being alongside him Pinocchio, Lies of P. Oh my gosh, you, my friend, must be a Lies of P guy. I absolutely love that game. I don't know if you're here because of that series that I've done, but I have covered the lore extensively in Lies of P, and it's just a fantastic game. This is a fantastic Souls-like, and this is a fantastic Metroidvania. One that really surprised me. I didn't think that it was going to be as interesting as it was story-wise, but I was actually shocked. And when it comes to the gameplay and stuff, it's very solid. You've got all the stuff you need in any traditional Metroidvania, so it just feels good. Transform them into warrior type characters. I love that too. The fact that Pinocchio became, like a Souls-like character, that's pretty neat. The fact that Ebenezer is like a hero in a Metroidvania, I mean, that's neat. Like, you don't always have to keep them in, oh, this is the type of character they were portrayed as, so, they're not good at fighting or whatever. It's like, no, I mean, and the funny thing is, Ebenezer uses his cane, right? I love that. I think that's really fun. Alright, so we're heading to the Bedlam Asylum. We will be encountering yet another NPC here in the very near future. A potential ally, if you will. Oh, these guys are so annoying. I have not figured out a way to destroy them yet. If they have that red barrier. To me, they're essentially invincible. So we have the Malthus factory up above, which we can't actually explore. We'll be blocked off. Or the Bedlam Asylum. So we're going to make a left. See. Oh, and just so you know, yeah, this area here, we don't have fall damage, so we're good. We'll actually be opening this up, because if I recall correctly, it's actually blocked off right now. So this lift right here will be accessible in the near future. Cheese ZA says, this game only has a, I'm assuming Symphony of the Night style backstep, not like a forward and back dash. Correct. It only has the backwards dash. Very traditional Castlevania style dodge or dash, like you said. That's funny that you mentioned that. Yeah, I should get this before the holidays. It's fun. I would definitely suggest it. I'm playing it on Steam right now, and I'm just using the Xbox controller, and it plays fine. I have the Steam Deck, so it's Steam Deck compatible and all that. I definitely, if you're a fan of Metroidvanias, then this would be right up your alley. I love Metroidvanias. I love Souls-likes. If you guys are familiar with my channel, or channels, you know that I always cover lore on, those types of games. My smaller channel, Inhuman Live, which is where I normally stream, that one, of course, has a lot of the guides and stuff for games like this, Metroidvania, Souls-likes, challenge runs, things like that. So be sure to check him out. This guy's cool. He actually is unlike any other ghost that you can utilize, although he is red, which typically means combat ghost. The cool thing about him is that he actually provides healing. So Jean-Baptiste Bernard says, and allow me to use my time with the living to help those in need here in Bedlam Asylum. He's pretty much in the middle of a prayer. I am sorry. I did not mean to disturb you. No apologies are necessary. I was offering a prayer for those suffering tonight. Spirit, I do not mean to make assumptions, but I am surprised by your presence here. How did you become trapped in the mortal world? I squandered my time in life. I obsessed about what I believed to be declining morality and brutality here in London and throughout the world. I fell into despair and lost hope in the goodness of our human world. Would you say that you have hope now, in the afterlife? I do have hope, very much so. Throughout my many years in the afterlife, the people have demonstrated to me the arc of time leads to good. Why are you here in Bedlam Asylum? Is there a way I can help you? Yes, like all spirits, I am unable to ease the suffering of mortals. Nowhere in this city do I see more suffering than in Bedlam. So many innocent men and women have been locked away and forced to endure cruel psychological and physical experiments. If people only knew how the unjustly detained were being treated. So the rumors are true. I have heard whispers of sinister activities here in Bedlam Asylum, but the institution has always been held in high regard with my friends in industry. Please, Spirit, tell me what I can do to help stop this. There is evidence of this malicious behavior in the Bedlam Asylum's medical files. Find it and deliver it to the officer in London. His name is Samuel. That's the officer I pointed out earlier. With these documents, the police force will have what it needs to act. And we will certainly find that at some point. The asylum is... It's my favorite area in terms of like the environment, but it is probably the most labyrinthian by far. Tanaya BC says, can't wait to see who else Liza P developers bring into their world of fairy tales. We don't know when the DLC comes out, but we do know that it is being worked on, as is the kind of outline and workings for the sequel. I did a video on the where I believe the DLC will take us, and I covered some theories you guys want to check out. A lot of people were saying Pleasure Island, but based on the 2 screenshots that Jiwon Cho shared with us, I don't believe that's the case. I would love to see it. but I don't think that's where it'd take us. I think it's going to go a little different direction, but I'll let you guys watch if you're interested. Avery Lockhart says, sob, sob, sniffle, sniffle. Little girl, why are you crying? You can see me? Oh, Joy, you can see me. I can see you clear as day. What is your name and why are you crying? My name is Sophia. My sisters and I saw a group of young boys sneak into this asylum. They are Scout Brigade members, and one of their troop leaders has been missing. The boys heard stories about people that come to Bedlam Asylum and never return, and foolishly thought to search for them here. If they're in Bedlam Asylum, they're in danger. I must find them. My sisters, Avery and Kenna, are with them, but there's little they can do as ghosts. The boys are safe for now, but they're terrified. You must help them. I will find them and get them on their way home. Thank you, kind sir. Now, although she said her name's like she's one of three. That's like one soul and three. It's really weird the way it works, but they are the mirror ghosts. Remember we talked about the mirrors opening up some more traversal abilities later. They are key to this. But yeah, there's actually three of them. Alright, there's the save room, which I've been looking for. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree that Champion Victor was certainly a reference, obviously, to Frankenstein because of his name, Victor, being Victor Frankenstein, and then this his very nature, like how he kind of came back from the dead kind of thing. I certainly agree with that. But I just feel like all the clues they gave is pointed towards that. And another funny thing is, if you think about it, a lot of people are saying, oh, well, it's not a fairy tale. Well, neither was Dorian Gray's story, and we know that Dorian Gray made the painting for Carlo, right, as a boy, his portrait. So it's not simply tied to fairy tales. It's a multiverse of sorts tied to just classic tales in general. I would say instead of a fairy tale multiverse, it's just like classic tales, because even Wizard of the Oz in general, not really a traditional fairy tale, right? But so I think that any kind of classic work is fair game, and I am super excited about this. This is a barrier that will be able to be broken. We're gonna get access to this really powerful ghost. It's gonna help us in the near future. But yeah, so I don't think that the developers have any problem with what I would call overlap. That's why if you've seen any of my videos, I talk about how the main character, Geppetto's puppet, might not just be Pinocchio, but he's also the Tin Man. And instead of being one or the other, I believe that because there's overlap, they could serve multiple roles depending on what universe or what kind of realm they're thrust into. So it's more so like us as the viewers recognize, oh my gosh, they have these qualities, but he's not just one of those characters. He could be multiple because of the overlap when we saw the post-credit scene and all that. So yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. I mean, I love theorizing and doing all that stuff. It's mostly just to share my thoughts on things or what could be. And then, of course, to get you guys talking about stuff like what else could be out there. What else? What are the answers? You know, like what other possibilities? And it's just getting that dialogue that to me is so rewarding, because you guys are going to have ideas that I would never come up with. And I would have ideas you guys would never think of. And together, we'll be able to find the answers, one, but even if we don't, it's so much fun to just think about the possibilities together, you know? But unfortunately, people are kind of really mean, so they don't like to, they want their opinion to be right, and if it's not their opinion, then they start being jerks about everything. And that's why it's kind of tough being a content creator that does theories and stuff like that, because you get a lot of hate for your ideas. But in general, I think that what I try to do is encourage you guys to come up with ideas, and we can create a community of just theorists, you know? That's my whole purpose of doing what I do. I'm hurting right now. I'm using up all my heals. I'm not gonna use any more, okay? There's another wall there we'll have to break through at some point. Yeah, like we were saying, Dutch Dragon Gaming, I do think that that broken puppet in the Barren Swamp is most certainly a reference to the Tin Man. I also think that Geppetto's puppet, when looked at through the scope of the Dorothy, you know, that whole thing opening up, post-credit scene, he can also be a reference to the Tin Man, right? Because the heart, right? The whole thing is the Tin Man wanted a heart. Funny thing is, if everybody keeps kind of misquoting things incorrectly when they refer to the book or the movie, and they say, "Oh, well, the Tin Man, he got a heart." He didn't really get a heart. The Wizard of Oz was a con man, and he didn't give anybody anything they didn't already have. He gave the crow a fake diploma, and he was able to recite, certain equations, and he gave the Tin Man a necklace, and apparently that was how he felt heart. So he didn't give them anything they didn't already have. It was already within them. So Geppetto's puppet to me is a reference to the Tin Man, as is the puppet in the Barren Swamp, because he was wanting to, his tie to emotions, right? He wanted to feel, he wanted to love, remember that song, right? So I think that, yes, as I said before, and I will always say, there's overlap. And so I don't think that any of the characters in general are tied to one fairy tale character. I think that they are tied to multiple. And I think that's what makes it so much fun. Alright. This area is so tough. Now, there's one of my favorite boss fights actually here. This looks like a passageway you couldn't actually go to, but if you continue to the right, you can. But we're going to go down first. I got to clear out these enemies because they are dealing all kinds of unnecessary damage right now. Thank you. This is going to be something for later. A very, very nice heirloom cane can be found in here. Really cool. But you need a certain ghost to help, bust through those walls. There you go. We're going to actually jump across and use Haley Hall's dash. Get this treasure chest over here. I'm telling you, the plum pudding's fantastic. It's one of the better heals. It almost heals you completely. The turkey's good too, and the cold boiled is also good. But the plum pudding is so expensive. That's the problem with it. Here's another friend, Bruce Hagen. Hello, Governor. Have a moment of your time for a poor lost soul that lost his way? Yes, how can I help you? Got any grub on you? I fancy some nosh. Nosh? Spirits don't eat mortal food. Nah, just kidding ya. A bit of spirit humor. When you're shackled to the mortal world, unable to help the needy, it helps to make a joke every now and then to pass the time. I respect your attitude, sir. I have not met many spirits with your, spirit. I like your spirit too, geezer. Ha! I seen you helping others, and I need some of that. I was a prisoner once. A bunkmate of mine, Rowley Haywood, once told me that he had committed a crime and blamed it on a local vagrant. Vagrant's name was Arvel. Everyone thought he was mad anyway, so they locked him up in this asylum. An innocent man locked up? This is terrible. Why didn't you speak up? Selfish, wasn't it? I was a coward. I never said a word about that confession. I myself was angry at the system. I didn't think of the needs of others. Haywood is no longer with us living, but now I see that Arvel still rots in Bedlam. Set him free, will ya? Do him that much of a kindness. I will find this man and return him to the liberty that was unjustly removed. So, again, a lot of these ghosts, they have pending matters that they're unable to assist with now, and it's because they can't interact with the mortal world. Now, fortunately, Ebenezer Scrooge does have that ability. He has that sensitivity to him now because of his experience. So, he's then able to help them, and then they're so thankful that they give him their powers and abilities. So, it's pretty nice. I like that whole concept for sure. Okay, so we've got quite a bit to do. We're going to see how high up we can go first. These projectiles are just absolutely killing me. So having to manage a projectile plus a moving enemy, super, super fun. Okay, here's what we're going to do. 1, 2, 3. We'll kill it right here. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Oh, we got some Wadi sand as well. That's great. We're needing some to upgrade our health and all that. Alright. So far, we're doing good to explore this area. Uh-oh. You said something about slots for Legion arms. Yeah, there's a bunch of slots for things that I'm like, ooh, there's definitely more stuff that we're going to be able to use. Alright, let's go over here. This guy's right. Okay, got him in the head, so that was great. Gotta get rid of those projectile users, they're so annoying. And then the most mobile enemies can of course be a huge threat, but let's go ahead and grab this. Our next heirloom, Isabella's Glove. Increase the power of Courage's bow and arrow. So, of course, if you have Courage equipped, which we do, you can use that and it's a nice little synergy. Now, just so you know, we can't actually reach that platform where that creature was just yet, I don't believe. Yeah, we can't reach it just yet. You guys are talking about Lies of Pizza. Man, I love that game. I absolutely love it. I am a huge fan. One of my favorite games of all time, I'll go ahead and say. And that's me being an avid Souls-like fan. Go through here. Alright. We got some more cold boiled, which is great. These food items are fantastic. That means I won't feel so bad about using maybe one more, but I do need to find a save room. As I said, you can start seeing the save rooms are getting more and more scarce, right? And it becomes a bit of a problem because, man, it's just hard to survive. We're going to go, I don't think there's anything this way. There's a save room to our right though. I remember doing this in my first playthrough as well. I don't think it resulted in anything. Yeah, it was, oh yeah, I got to kill the fat dude, but then I went to the save room and nothing happened, so. Alright, so we're going to go this way. Replenish our health and our spirit meter. Do you think we'll see the Red Fox and Black Cat in the sequel? I don't, because I certainly killed them. I won't be seeing them in my file, I know that. They were simple con men. I don't believe they're going to have ties, like, canonically to any DLC. So no, I think canonically they died, actually, but I know that you can prevent fighting them, you know, based on certain things, but I fought them. I don't like a con artist. I've been conned too many times in real life. But yeah, no, I don't believe have any significance in the DLC. I do believe it's canonical that they died too. Could be wrong. But it's my canon because they died in my profile. This guy's a real nuisance. If you let him hit you with that toxin, or that, you know, toxic cloud, it just does so much damage. Alright, so looking good. Looking good. Now, remember, anytime you see a body of water, you want to equip Kenji's ring. So we're definitely going to want to do that. That's an heirloom, of course. So we're going to go here. We can unequip like the run speed or something. That's really not too important. Put Kenji's ring on. Now we can safely traverse the water. All kinds of good stuff we can find down here. Of course, the heirloom. Sentinel's mirror. You deal more damage when your health is low. It's pretty much the red tear stone ring. I don't like running around with less than 40% health. But in the event you want a kind of a glass cannon build, that's not a bad heirloom to have equipped for that purpose. I just don't suggest it because enemies here can kill you, and, like, you know, in general you can die in like 2 to 3 hits anyways. Even with, you know, I'd say maxed out health, the later enemies can just deal so much damage. It's just strongly advised to keep food on you and keep your health up, you know. They were alive in your game? Yeah, that's why I was joking too. Like, they weren't alive in my game. To me, it's actually harder to keep them alive than to kill them, in terms of like the choices you have to make and stuff. They were not alive in my game. Not for long, anyways. After they stole Papa G, that was it. That was it. Alidoro and all of them got what they had coming. Let's take out this enemy here. We gotta clear the pathway as best we can. Some of these ghosts are just positioned so annoyingly. Just to prevent our passage, of course. Oh, okay, almost got me. Oh gosh, I knew that was gonna happen. I was trying to be fancy with it. Okay, so a lot of passageways here, tons of different pathways we can pick. And I'm kind of hurt, so we gotta be careful. Alright, so we're gonna go here first. It says Arvel on the door. This must be the man that the spirit Bruce Hagen said was falsely imprisoned. Let's go save him. Poor guy. Arvel, sir, you're free to go. Find a safe place to sleep tonight. In the morning, stop by Scrooge and Marley, and we can talk further about your future. I have been locked away unjustly for so long, I can hardly believe this moment has come. I never lost hope that one day I would be free. Thank you, sir. Yay! Now we get Hagen. Hagen is an absolute brawler, though. So as you can see, as we complete the quest, the ghosts are coming to us, which is really nice. In the later game, we're going to have to go back to them. Even, actually, one of the NPCs in this particular this particular location. Arvel is a free man. If others come looking for him, I will see that he has a proper legal counsel to state his case and ensure his freedom for the rest of his days. Mighty kind of you. Now let's see if maybe I can return the favor tonight. I'm sure you'll have an ample opportunity. So now we have another one. So again, you can toggle between all the different ghosts using the right stick. He's going to be incredibly powerful, really good for bosses, but he's just costly to use. His ability, you can only actually use 1 to 2 times with a maxed out spirit gauge bar. So you don't get a lot of usage out of it until you start upgrading your spirit gauge more. So in the meantime, Eric and the Falconer are still some of the prime pickings. Gotcha. Oh! I love that you referenced that Symphony of the Night backdash. That is 100% what it is. Alright, so easy does it. We've got the next train station here. So now, just for the sake of us looking, we have the Bedlam Asylum, West London, and the London Observatory. We're going to actually close out. We're not going to leave this area just yet. We've got some exploring to do. Also, whenever we do have the chance to use Bruce Hagen's ability, that's going to be important for later as well. Because we can use his ability to bust through walls. I would say Geppetto is certainly, I mean, he's bad because of the actions he made and the decisions he made and the lives that he, he was manipulative. So he's certainly bad. Now, in certain instances, he would have redeemed himself in a way, but not really. He just said sorry. The people that died are still dead. So even if you apologize, you didn't fix all the terrible things you've done. He knew about Ergo. He knew that the puppets, in essence, were imprisoning human souls. So I would not say he was a good guy at all, and he certainly didn't redeem himself. He just, in one ending, only one out of the 3, does he apologize for what he's done. And the other one, he creates like this false world for Carlo, his reborn son, and another, and the other 2, he just says, "Oh, sorry," or he just says, "Stupid puppet." So I would certainly say he didn't redeem himself. But he might have felt guilty in his last breath. But all right, so there's some tricky heirlooms in this one that have, I don't know what I would say, like very risky, right? So a lot of them will require that you have enemies get more health, more damage, or deal more damage. But the scary thing is you might get a few more coins, a few more drops, things like that. I don't know. I typically don't want to empower my enemies, so I'm more of like, nah, we'll keep you over here, buddy. So there's the way out. That's going to take us to another lift. If we go this way, though, to the right, down and to the right, we'll have a different encounter here. Oh, God, love it. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, I don't like, I'm going to be honest, like, if I had a choice of a forward dash or whatever, or if I only had a forward dash, or if I had, omnidirectional dash, like, that's great. Having only the back dash, that's old school. I mean, that's interesting to me. That's why you don't see me using it too often, because I'm pretty aggressive anyway, so I have to kind of get in there. So my playstyle, if I can't dash forward or through to get like invincibility frames, it makes it a little difficult for me to rely on that kind of ability. Oops. And then the funny thing is, like, say my natural instinct is to dash away, right? So like I struck, and then I went here to dash away, and I moved back right into the enemy, right? So stuff like that. Those little mistakes increase the chance of dropping rare items. Again, pretty cool. You can always equip that. I'm going to go back to my heirlooms. Unequip Kenji's ring. You know what? Let's have some fun with that one. Let's see what kind of rare items we get. Why not? Alright, so here, this one's kind of neat. We're going to go this way first. This puzzle took me a little bit to solve on my first playthrough. I was like, oh, I see. See what you did there. Have you ever played Hollow Knight? I certainly have. I've played... Oh man, I've actually... I've played Hollow Knight quite extensively. I'm a big fan of it. Big fan of Hollow Knight. Did some lore on it too, actually, believe it or not. Many years ago. Okay, this is fun. Get out of here, buddy. I'm gonna pull this one away. Push this one in this crevice here, and then we can slide this one across. Slide right in those DMs. Yeah, he did sacrifice himself, and I certainly appreciate that. I do agree with that. Like, but I do not believe he redeemed himself. I think that in his guilt, he made a selfless decision, his first selfless decision ever, because every other decision he made was out of selfishness. So yeah, I think that, yeah, I mean, if that was enough to redeem him in the eyes of the good Lord, maybe, but not me. Still, all those people still died. All that stuff happened because of his selfishness and his manipulative ways. But I love that dynamic. That's just excellent storytelling to me. Alright, so this is a really fun encounter here. This guy, it's really sad because you start learning about the characters and there's lore entries, and he was subjected to all kinds of cruelty and not only psychological but physical experimentation, and he's in bad shape, let's just say, and it really sucks, you know, but we have to deal with the threat. Oh gosh. Use Bruce Hagen's attack. Uh-oh. He kicks those rocks and it's so hard to dodge. Alright, where you at, buddy? Oh, he ran right into me. That's fun. You're just spamming right now, buddy. Huh. Oh. Okay, I don't have much life left, so I'm gonna have to heal if I don't kill him. We got him. Whew. Once you defeat a boss, you do gain full health again. So, yes, I'm just glad that I don't... See, here's the thing. We definitely fought him, killed him. I think at this point he's dead. It's my understanding. And it's just really sucky that we had to continue fighting him. He didn't even have a chance to kind of speak for himself or anything. So, but he's got some lore if you read the flavor text for his character, and it's just really messed up. I don't like that. If I'm gonna be honest, I actually do like having boss health bars. I do like seeing that, or I do like seeing like the traditional old school, like, hey, the boss gets more and more red and then he's finally dead because he's like super red, like the very old school style we saw, back in the Super Nintendo days, things like that. But I think that if you can see like certain behaviors and things like that changing as you're fighting the boss, and you say, okay, I'm getting closer, like that's always nice. But I don't think it's necessary. It doesn't like make or break a game for me. I've seen more and more games, at least in the indie realm, not include or incorporate things like that. So it's I don't know. I mean, certainly a design choice, but I just one that I'm like, that's interesting. Because if you already have like a HUD or something like that, I think it's fine to add it. If you already have a HUD, unless you're just trying to go for full immersion, and you don't want to have. If you don't want to have any kind of bars or anything like that, but if you already have bars, I don't think it's a problem. Alright, you're annoying. But yeah, I'm not too picky. Like, I can kind of just adjust. But I do have preferences, certainly. Let's go this way first. And then we'll go up that little series of ladders there. Okay, this room ends. I love when there's like finite paths. That means like, okay, good. Ooh, these are going to be incredibly important for one of our new ghost allies. This is the evidence that Jean-Baptiste Bernard was speaking about. I must take it to Samuel, the officer in London. I last saw him near my house. He's just to the right, a few blocks over, so. But again, the side quest progression and all that, and the journal and all that, the ability to track all these down is always really nice. That way you know what you have completed. Kind of like the next steps too. There's like no guesswork involved there, and I do appreciate that quite a bit. Oh man, I only have pudding left and cold boiled. No fun at all. Nope. Okay, get out of the way. Nope, 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 sir. Sir, get out of here. Got him. Jump. Okay, we're good. Really? Jump. Good to go. Alright, if I recall correctly, this is like the intended path, and then this is like the path for a secret, but I don't remember exactly. Ouch, that hurt. This is the secret. This is the secret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just gonna skip all that. There it is. This is another cane, the Spirit Axe. It deals a bunch of damage, but just way slower. So, certainly something I would use in like I would use it against like a boss or something, but I don't think we really need to use that. I prefer my little fast acting cane. It's so much fun to use. Gotta focus here to make sure we don't miss any jumps. I'll take these guys out as well. Things are so annoying. Alright. Get through here safely. Make sure you hug that right wall so you can speak with these ghosts. And now we're going to get a new ability here really quickly. It's awesome. Have you played Ghost Song? I have. I have played Ghost Song, and I even featured a lore video on it. Maybe he's here to help. Sir, please don't be mad at us. We're scared and just want to go home. I am not mad at you, dear boy, but you must leave this place at once. Proceed forward and make a right at the end of the hall. You will find the exit there. Do not delay. Thank you. Our brigade leader Kip has been missing, and we came to find him. We found no sign of him here. We will obey your instructions and exit. I will keep an eye out for Kip. In the meantime, do not stop for anything. No matter what you see, hear, or feel, keep going until you're home with your families. Sophia found me earlier and let me know that these boys needed help. I know they could not see you, but I'm sure your friendly presence gave them some semblance of calm and reassurance. We're happy to help. Thank you for helping the boys. We'll let Sophia know the boys are on their way to safety. While I should learn not to question the abilities of ghosts, I must ask how you're able to do that with a mirror. We are connected to each other as triplet sisters, even while we are apart. We can take you anywhere in the world as long as there's a mirror on each side. Travel by mirror? How is this possible? That's a silly question. So much exceeds your capacity to understand. You only need to know this. One of us will take your hand to enter a mirror, and another will take your hand to take you out. Quite simple, actually. So now we have Sophia, Avery, and Kenna Lockhart, the triplets that I was referring to. Now we can go through mirrors, and this is going to help us reach the next area, but also open up a bunch of secrets that we just haven't been able to actually access yet. Alright. Oh yeah, she actually gives you like a little hint of if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no. That's later on. Alright, let's grab this material here. We're back in this area, and we can go this way. Find our escape. So here's the first mirror we gotta go into. She wasn't lying. They definitely pull your hand and you, whoa! But they do take you to a bunch of different areas. It's pretty nice. And this is always like a dreamscape kind of where like a world between worlds, you know. It's always got some basic platforming. Some of it, of course, is much harder than others. But in general, I would say they're all pretty easy. Nothing too crazy or too challenging. Very forgiving. Yeah, I've played Ghost Song. I've played Metroid Dread. I am looking forward to Silk Song. I think that's going to be a fantastic game. I'm very serious about Metroidvanias. My favorite genres are Souls-likes, Metroidvanias, and roguelites. And roguelites, if I'm being honest, are the ones that I'd say if I lacked mastery of any of them, it'd be that genre. I'm still pretty formidable in those, but definitely there's been games like where I can't beat at the highest difficulty. But in like Souls-likes and Metroidvanias, I always do challenge runs and things like that in those types of games. So, because I've played them for so long, I do like to add a different, like another layer of complexity or difficulty to them. So those I'm certainly confident in my mastery of, but some other games like the roguelites, not so much. But that's why you'll hear, yep, I'll answer, yeah, I played that, because I'm just such a big fan of the genre. I absolutely love those kinds of games. Let me see, can I reach that? All right. Oh, I don't have enough spirit. Of course. Can I reach this? No. Okay, lovely. We're going to have to go back because I would definitely want to break through that wall and open what's in the safe. Typically, you just get food or, you get like crafting materials, but it's always good to have free items. Okay, that was close. You said Metroidvanias were my #1 favorite genre for a long time. Yeah, they're fantastic. I mean, you always feel like a sense of accomplishment playing them, and finding the secrets, and depending on the pacing, I mean, God, it's just such a rewarding kind of game type. I can't say Souls-likes or roguelites are in my top 5, but they definitely bring the biggest endorphin rushes in addiction. Then, okay, so what genres do you enjoy? What are your top 5? For me, I can only think of right at this point. Well, I would say this. If I had to think, it'd be Souls-likes, #1, Metroidvanias, #2, roguelites, #3. Let's just call it, kind of like your general kind of RPG type experience, #4, and then horror games, #5. Oh, yes, I love that. Gravity. My only weakness, gravity. But yeah, those are certainly my favorites. We'll open this up. This is a little shortcut, but we won't actually be using this, at least to my knowledge. But I guess it does allow for quick traversal in the event you backtrack and explore this area again. But yeah, those would be my favorite genres. Again, I love all types of games. There's very few games that I do not like, and it would probably be things like something like a simulator or something like that. I don't necessarily like those kinds of games. But aside from that, I mean, my taste in games, just like in everything else in life, is pretty eclectic. I really wish I could bust through this. I had to punch something. Darn it. And I guess that's what it's for. Like, if you're like me and you're stubborn, you don't have to go through that whole mirror puzzle again. You can just go to the right. See, we got some usage out of it, didn't we? JRPGs, yeah. Absolutely. That's kind of what I was going for with my #4 as well. It's the pacing. Yeah, I would say it's the pacing that makes it to where, it has that grind need for it in a lot of RPGs. And if they don't execute that properly, it feels like a chore, and you don't feel like you're making progress or accomplishing things, so that can be very difficult. Yeah, oh, we found Mama Casper. Cough. Is someone there? Is this Casper's mother? Is this Lillian Malthus? Yes, it's been many years, but it is her. Hello, I hear someone. I'm sorry to disturb you, but I came to ask you about your son, Casper. Casper, my dear Casper, where is he? Did they finally send him my letters? There is no need to exert yourself. Please, take breath. I thought he would never let anyone send them, that they would be kept locked away in the office here in Bedlam Asylum, and Casper would never know. She's very ill. I don't imagine it will be long before she leaves your world and enters ours. Know what he means to me. Catch your breath for a moment and do not speak. Let me introduce myself. I am Ebenezer Scrooge, and I have been asked to help your son Casper. Can you tell me how you came to be here? I was the mother of 2 sons, who I loved equally with all my heart. However, Victor, my eldest, was chosen by their father to continue on the family name and business. His father cared little for Casper, and I believed that he was too weak in body and spirit. And he believed he was too weak in body and spirit to carry on the family name. pretty much Gaius Malthus, which is the father and head of the Malthus family, is an absolute jerk. He's totally just hell-bent on destroying the working class and what he calls excising the cancer of society. He wants to get rid of, anybody that isn't pretty much the 1%. So he is quite the jerk, and he actually groomed and chose Victor, his eldest son, to carry on that legacy. And he thought Casper, which was his youngest son, well, he's too weak, he's too feeble, he's not going to be able to carry this on. I made up for his father's neglect by making sure he was happy and loved, and that he would experience the things in life that brought him joy: books, museums, zoos, and most of all, trips to the London Observatory. See, that's a key location. Where was Victor during these times? Casper's father wanted Victor to have a chance at politics, so he bought him an officer commission and meant to have him serve for a few years so he could exploit these experiences later in his career. Sounds familiar. He was not meant to be in any real danger, but an artillery accident took his life. I'm sorry. I was devastated at the death of my eldest son, beyond consolement. Casper's father, Gaius Malthus, did not shed a single tear. He tossed Victor's medals in the garbage and gave his eldest son not another thought. It was only with my secret intervention that Victor was given any sort of funeral, meager as it was. Gaius immediately took Casper away from me so he could begin shaping him as a replacement for his lost brother. I saw what had happened to Victor, and I threatened to leave him and take Casper with me. I assume Gaius objected? Yes. He had me taken to Bedlam and used his resources to keep me locked here indefinitely. He told everyone that I had been distraught, or so distraught over the loss of Victor, that it had driven me mad. He would go on to make Casper believe I had abandoned him due to Victor being the only son I truly cared about. I wrote Casper letters every week, explaining the truth, what had really happened, that I had always loved him. I continued writing long after I discovered they had not been, nor would they ever be, delivered to Casper. I imagine Casper would have become a different man had he received them. Whatever is happening, please find my letters to Casper and give them to him. I loved him and I never stopped, not even now. Rest assured, I will locate these letters and deliver them into his hands. So she's not doing too well, but we certainly need to find the letters so that we can go ahead and use them as a memento that hopefully will reach Casper's heart, which is key to this story. We're looking for mementos from the past, present, and future that will resonate with Casper and hopefully have him change his ways before it's too late. So this is the other side of the lift. We were in that area not too long ago. Oh gosh. Okay, we got him out of the way. Let's jump over here. Those guys up above are so crazy. They move so fast. Metroidvania, JRPGs, narrative adventure games, those are fun. Those are fun too. I do like a little more action, but I do enjoy the Telltale games for sure. Wolf Among Us is one of my favorites. Actually, Wolf Among Us is probably my favorite Telltale game, if I'm going to go out there and say it. So yeah, absolutely. Souls-likes are fun. That's one of my absolute favorites. I like a challenging game that's like 100% like, skill, or at that point, once you become knowledgeable enough, it's just like you can truly execute anything however you want. Like, for example, once you get familiar enough with the mechanics, you can accomplish anything with these games. And I think I was the first, I was the second or third person to ever beat Elden Ring with a torch. Just a few, I think, weeks after it came out, I was like the second person to do it. I beat Elden Ring with a torch only, and then I beat like God of War fists only, the new one. So I like doing challenge runs, all kinds of things like that. Just because to me, it's like if a game has good bones, you can pretty much do anything you want, and anything's viable. I love the story aspects in the game, but sometimes depending on you just don't get that. But if I have like either really strong story or really strong mechanics, that's enough for me to absolutely fall in love with the game. I don't have to have both, but you get the rare occasion where you have both, and it's like, man, this is a solid game. So strong game mechanics, strong story, or or if you can just see the passion seeping through the game, where it's like it's not very strong in either, but it's I definitely see the direction they were trying to take, and that to me is very honorable. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I keep missing. Okay. I know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take that cage down, and I'm going to break that wall. I'm trying to use Hagen's ability, but it's so costly. No worries though. We'll make it work. This third time's a charm. If not, the fifth time can be as well. Fourth and fifth and even sixth. Alright, here we go. That's all we had to do. I'm just so stubborn. We're gonna go here. Check out the mirror. Blasphemous 2 is my game of the year. Blasphemous 2 is pretty incredible. It's another great Metroidvania. Absolutely great Metroidvania. I have covered that game as well on my channel, and from a lore perspective. Definitely encourage you guys to check it out if you're fans of the series. When it comes to those games, you're always going to see Metroidvanias and Souls-likes as topics that I'm covering. Indie games as well. Absolutely love featuring indie games on the channel. So you're going to see all kinds of lore and theories covering those games. Thank you, ladies. Now we get the Eliska's Pocket Watch. Compassion is one of the ghosts we have not yet recruited just yet. At this point we only have Courage, but Compassion is another. Let's go back home. Yeah, Blasphemous 2. I had a lot of fun with that game. I'll be doing a 100% guide on my other channel. Just so you guys know, I have 3 channels. This is my main channel, which covers mostly lore and theories. And then my smaller channel, Inhuman Live, covers all my guides, my playthroughs, live streams for those games we've been talking about this entire time. You know, Metroidvania, Souls-likes, all that stuff. So I encourage you to check them out. Certainly do. I have, like, you know, 100% guides for Lies of P and all that stuff. Thinking about doing a guide for this game. I do. That channel is pretty much for everything other than lore and theory. So if it's a video game that I enjoy, I'll be covering it in some sort of capacity. All right, we have another mirror up there. Let's see what we can explore without having to go through to the other dimension, to the upside down, because the mirrors can kind of disorient me a little bit, and I want to make sure that I'm exploring everything to the best of my ability without doing that. This room is kind of closed off, so I like going into the cells that, you know, the pathways kind of close off. Ow. Ah, what? Oh, you're everywhere. Why is he here? Get out of here. No, you don't. Okay, gotcha. And then your friend last. Okay, this guy. Gotta get the treasures. We got some more. It looks like, is that mugwort? Yes, it is. We needed that. We needed that for sure. I'll be lurking. Well, thanks for the lurk, man. I really appreciate you. Yes, I love the Blasphemous. Oh, cool, cool. I thought I'd recognize your name, Cheese. I think you've commented before. But yeah, go ahead and enjoy your day. Take care of your errands, and thank you so much for the lurk and just stopping by. It means so much to me. It really does. You guys are awesome. Alright, here goes, here goes. So we've got this over here. We'll be dropping down from there, actually. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue this pathway then. The mirrors are very disorienting to me because you do go from one location to a complete other, and you have to kind of keep track of where you just went from in the map. So, oh yeah, this is that little jumping sequence I kind of hated. Let's see, boom, boom, and then just what you want to do is, it looks like it's a real easy, like you just hop from this one and then you just dash over, but that right there makes it kind of tricky with this saw. Fortunately, that mouse was not being a jerk today. Nice. Love it. Got some more cold boil. That's where we can replace what we just used. We got another heirloom here. Zhang's Dragon Pendant. Take less damage from environmental hazards. Really good in, well, in this area it's not bad at all. But also the Malthus Factory, because you will be taking all kinds of damage from spikes and lava and everything else you can possibly imagine. All good stuff, all good stuff. Alright. We already explored all the way here, so we're good to go. Now we can actually just head back out. Alright, let's get out of here. We're so close to actually completing this area. I was gonna actually just do a dedicated stream for one area at a time, but I was like, man, I really kind of just want to keep going. London Observatory is fun, but it just kind of, it's just, I needed more. And the Bedlam Asylum is definitely a much larger area, more to explore, that we can access right now. So it's a lot of fun to see. And I wanted to showcase it for you guys too. It's a good area. You get a lot more abilities. You meet a bunch of NPCs. Oh gosh, I missed. I can't believe I missed. Must jump. There you go. I made up for it with that cool jump. But yeah, so we will continue this way. This is kind of how you open up the other pathways that were inaccessible. You know, like, so this is going to actually link back up to the city center. And then, you know, if we go back even further, there's a few more things we can do by unlocking, by unlocking and breaking down certain walls, things like that. Because Hagen opens up a lot of areas for us. I love Courage. She always gets those like cheap shots like through walls and stuff. She's excellent. Alright, we got another heirloom. Gain more spirit when hitting enemies. Never a bad thing. Because that just means you can spam your ghost abilities more. Every time you use your cane, you gain spirit. So it's kind of nice to be balancing that from, you know, cane, or, you know, bouncing back between cane and ghost abilities. Alright. At a later point, we'll actually go up to that other area that you see above us. And it all kind of connects. So it's like this mirror world, if you will. It's kind of its own place. And it does actually tie to other areas that you'll see much later in the game. So it's almost like its own little world. And you just see pieces of it every time you jump through. So it's kind of cool. I do like that. Okay, you, sir. Crawling way too fast, buddy. Way too fast. Did I already go through this one? I am certain that I just went through that, did I not? Darn it. I guess I'll have to check really quick, because I have a feeling that I did. I'll remember the spirit world piece of it, I think. We have not been here. We have not been here. But why is this ladder down? Alright, buddy. Gotcha. And there you go. So I hadn't been there yet. I'm glad I took that path. Oh, lovely. I missed. Come on, little spider fellow. Okay, he's dead. Now, this area circles around quite a bit. This is pretty neat because I remember finding a secret. I was like, oh, I did not anticipate that. Up above is actually a secret we're going to find, so we are going to be exploring this area as thoroughly as we can. It's time for you to die. Nice shot, Courage. Her arrows do have some homing capabilities, so that's really nice. Okay. Got some more rosemary. Fantastic. Got some Wadi sand. That's actually pretty rare, and I'm glad we got it because we do need to upgrade our spirit meter as well. Especially if we're going to be using Bruce Hagen's ability. It's so costly. That guy's expensive. He charges a lot for his services. Alright, so just to make sure... Okay, nothing else. Darn it, I missed that. other little secret. We'll be able to circle back around though. And if you go back down, just so you know, I mean I know it's silly, but we're right back where we left off. Right. The same area as up here. So it all just kind of links together. Just to kind of show you, because if not, it's so confusing. It can be anyways. But it takes no time to get back, it's fine. Lovely. Lovely. Well, we're going to go up and around though, and once we do, we'll go through the other mirror, and then we'll be able to actually fall down that passageway, and then it will open up we'll open up that pathway pretty much from that point forward, so it's no longer like going to be blocked off or inaccessible. And the tricky thing is it almost looks identical to this pathway, so you're going to see how it could be a little disorienting. I think oh man, I missed it a second time too. How lovely. It's not a big deal though. It's just going to be upgrade material or something like that. Nothing critical or, you know, game breaking, if you will. Alright, so we gotta make sure we open up any shortcuts along the way, so always kind of see where the path leads. We've got this mirror over here, so before we actually go through the mirror, go down and open up this little shortcut. And if you see, we'll have the ladder right there and then the little rat trap. So it's all very close now. So they kind of link these worlds together as well. So that if you take one mirror in like a general location, you can still actually use it as a shortcut to get to another area, kind of skip ahead. Alright, so far so good. Gotcha. So this area looks kind of similar to the one we were just in, but it's actually different. And if you go down here, which we're gonna do. Oh, hold on. Why can't I go down? Curious. I know you can go down there. Maybe there's something we need to do down below. I don't remember exactly what. Boom. Oh gosh, that was scary. Okay. So if you fall down here, you go back to the other area that we were just at, I believe. So I don't necessarily want to do that. We can take a look at the map to confirm. Yeah, we would drop back down to that main area. We'll get the letters really quickly. That's important. This looks like the main office. If the elusive letters to Casper are to be found anywhere, this would be a logical starting point. Not only that, but it's a great ending point too, because he found the letters in the first place he suspected. Here are the letters to Casper. There's so many, dozens, no, hundreds. She truly must have written to her son weekly since she was brought here. Will this be enough to help Casper? A reminder that even in the present day, there are those who loved him and didn't want this life for him? Yes, correct. He is loved today, in the present. I would like to propose an idea to remind Casper of his true nature. What is it, Ebenezer? The Christmas spirits are able to help others see pathways to their redemption by confronting their past, present, and future. We hold now something meaningful from the present day. Maybe if we find similar items that represent Casper's past and future and confront him with them, he will rediscover his true self. That makes sense, Ebenezer, but we do not have the Christmas spirit's powers. How are we to look into his future? I have an idea, but it will not be easy. We need to find Victor. Victor? His long-deceased brother? Are we to embark on some misguided quest to find a ghost, then? Where do we even begin? Rummaging through dusty records, chasing after ethereal shadows? A dead man groomed to be hardened to the needs of humanity from a young age would only find himself in one place, in the necropolis, a nexus for the most unrepentant. Oh, splendid. Let us venture into the necropolis, the realm of the dead. Is that a place we, or at least I, can enter? Do you know where to find it? I have seen necropolis as a spirit, but I do not know where to enter as a mortal. If I had to guess, though, it would be somewhere that led underground. Buster Bailey says, I think I can help. There's an entrance to the London Underground on the east side of the city, between the circus and the lower entrance to the London Observatory. So remember, there is an area if you go all the way on the bottom level of the city to the east, furthermost east side, and there's also an entryway to the London Observatory that can only actually be accessed from Necropolis, so it links them together. Well, well, Buster, it appears you hold the key to our predicament. Who would have thought that a lad like yourself would possess knowledge of the hidden paths in this labyrinthine? Lead the way, then, and let us venture forth into the mysteries of the necropolis. Nice. So what I would like to do... Oops. Is see if we can take her out real quick. There it is. We're going to equip Kenji's ring, of course. See what goodies we can get here. Gotcha. Got your little jellyfish. Got some more mugwort. I'm going to drop down here. Now, a lot of these areas connect in ways that you don't really anticipate. I just missed that jump. It's fine. There was actually nothing there. Got some Andean copper. And here we meet the ghost of Christmas past. Ebenezer, I am the ghost of Christmas past. How could I forget? Your flames are much brighter than last we met. It is still early in the night. As always, though, they will begin to fade in a little time. If your time is so precious, why have you sought me out tonight? I bring with me a child of mankind to help you on your journey. How can she help? This girl is compassion. She will provide healing as you endure the darkness. Thank you, Spirit. So essentially, if you equip compassion, she will use berries for you automatically, but only if you have berries in your possession. So if you don't have them in your inventory, she's not a lot of help. And guess what? You can't really, to my knowledge, get berries other than from drops from enemies. So it ends up being, you usually find that she's not very helpful in the long run. So there's nothing else here, I don't believe. Yeah, nothing else over here. Oh, lovely, I missed. This will be opened up much later. And this is kind of like our pathway back up. Just so you know, it looks like there's something here, but I was just so shocked to find there was nothing in this little alcove. I did want to show you guys that. I thought that was really odd. Alright, here we go. Back up to the surface, and then we can explore the rest of that little sewer type area. But this is the way out. Gotta just retrace our steps. Kenji's ring is just really good though for this underwater exploration. Otherwise, these areas are inaccessible. There you go. Just taking everybody out. This guy's such a jerk. Okay, gotcha, buddy. You're going to remember this area from earlier, our very first stream, whenever we actually, I just showed you the ladder, you know, how to reach it. I didn't actually traverse anyway because I didn't want to commit to a path that we just couldn't really do anything for. So here you go, you got Blackwood Cemetery or the Bedlam Asylum. If you go up, we'll be actually reaching the save point for the city center. And that will be our stopping point. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I absolutely been having a blast playing this game. As I said, you know, avid fan of Metroidvanias. If you enjoy Metroidvanias and if you enjoy anything Ebenezer Scrooge, it's definitely a real treat because it combines both elements. And as I said before, I would like to again thank our sponsor, Play on Worlds, for providing me a key to feature this game on my channel. Again, it's been a real blast. I just really do want to show you guys that, something that I never thought would be a good mix surprised me beyond, my expectations. So having Ebenezer Scrooge in a Metroidvania, I thought that was so bizarre at first until I actually gave it a shot, and I absolutely love it. I mean, the ghost abilities, the level design's pretty solid. I mean, it's got a lot going for it. So if you guys are fans of either Ebenezer Scrooge or Metroidvanias, I definitely encourage you guys to check it out. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the second part of our stream. We'll be picking it right back up on Friday and trying to get as far as we can, hopefully, to obtain a memento from Casper's future and his past. But only time will tell how far we get. Again, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week, and until next time, it's the Inhuman one.